Hi everybody, my name is Alexandra Brown. I'm the Food Services Director here in Lincoln County Aging Program. Welcome to Cook With Us Traveling Edition. This month, we're gonna be traveling across the Atlantic Ocean all the way to the continent of Europe, and we're gonna be trying a variety of recipes. So I'm looking forward to having you guys with us virtually to try all of these wonderful recipes. And we would love for you guys to like, subscribe, comment, and let us know what you think. We really care about your opinion and we want to incorporate it in our activities here at Lincoln County. So let's get started. Hey everybody, today we're gonna be preparing an Italian-inspired dish. This month we are headed to Italy. Italy is located right on the border of France, Switzerland, and Austria, right in the southern region of Europe. Italy is known for the classic Roman Empire, luxurious fashion, and most of all, they're known for their delicious food. So today we're gonna be making the classic spaghetti and meatballs. All right, so stay locked in because we're also going to be providing some really great information in regards to keeping yourself healthy. So let's get started. So first thing I want you guys to do is go over to your ovens and preheat your oven to 425 degrees for our meatballs. Second thing we're going to do is we're going to fill up this large pot of water about 4/5 of the way. And then we're going to take our whole grain pasta and we're going to place it in the water. And that was 1/2 pound of pasta. Next, we're going to grab our salt and only do a pinch. Perfect. So now we're going to set this to boiling, and then as soon as it gets to boiling, we're going to take it back down to low to medium temperature so it kind of simmers. And then we're gonna cook the pasta until it's al dente, which means to the tooth. So we don't want it too hard, but we don't want it too soft either. All right guys, so while our pasta is cooking, we're going to start our meatballs. So first, we're going to take 3/4 a pound of ground turkey. And the ground turkey I picked only has 7% fat, so it's mainly lean. We're going to do 1 teaspoon of garlic, 1 teaspoon of pepper, half an egg. And what I did basically with the half an egg is I just cracked 1 egg in there, mixed it up, and then portioned it out. Like I just cut it in half basically. And then we have our panko breadcrumbs and our Parmesan cheese mix. Dump that all in there. Okay, so we're going to mix all of our hands into this to make sure that the Parmesan and the breadcrumbs and the salt and pepper all gets ingrained in our meats. And then once we do that, we're going to set it on here. But first, before I do that, I'm gonna put some olive oil across our pan. So on the pan, I have a sheet tray to make it non-stick. However, you can still put some olive oil on it if you would like, or if you don't use this parchment paper, you can just put the olive oil on your tray. So I did about a tablespoon, excuse me. What I'm doing is just kind of rubbing it on there. And you know, olive oil has a lot of good fats in it, which we love. Okay. So let's mix it up all together. Make sure it's all getting in there. And your local grocery store should have all this supplies. That's where I got most of the stuff, is just from the grocery store. Okay. Kind of rip it apart and make sure it's really getting in there, especially with our egg. Wow, that really, at first I was like, oh, it's gonna be too much breadcrumbs, but it wasn't. It was like just enough. Okay. Super sticky. Okay, so now we have our scooper here from our kitchen. You could always buy a scooper too from like a grocery store. They have them. So what I'm gonna do, it's about 1 inch to 1.5 inches of ground turkey, gonna be our meatball, onto the parchment paper. So you can just really just dig it in there. Okay, that's one. Oh, that's perfect. Like, this consistency is really good. So I would definitely recommend getting at least one of these scoopers if you like to home make things. And I mean, another cool thing about this recipe is that not only are we using whole grain pasta, but we're using ground turkey that's more lean. And we're also home making our own meatballs, so we can decide how much ingredients really go in it. So salt, pepper, whatever, it's up to us. As opposed to like when you go out to eat, you're not really sure of all the seasonings that are going into your meatballs. And I feel like this is a good size too, because you know, you can probably get it in like 2 bites. Kind of just spacing them out. And as you guys know, right now our oven is heating up, so by the time we head over there, it should be 425. Do another one, and then we can do like, don't really need to put that in there, huh? And we can do like a mini meatball. Okay, so check these out. This is the entirety of our meatball. So from 3/4 a pound, looks like we got 10.5 meatballs. So basically 10 if you want to really spread those out amongst the rest of them. And we're going to stick this in our oven. In most cases though, I know at home you guys probably have a lot smaller pans. So you can do that. You can still fit about 10 meatballs on your pan at home too. So let's stick it in the oven. Okay y'all, so while our meatballs are cooking, we're going to get started on our sauce. So one thing about the meatballs though is that it can cook for about 20 to 30 minutes depending on what oven you have. However, the main goal with our meat products is that we want it to reach an internal temperature of 165. So go ahead and use your thermometer at home and temp some of those meatballs to make sure it got over 165 so you know it's safe to eat. So we have our pasta sauce here. Obviously it's already canned and we could just use this sauce. However, I figured we could have some fun today and doctor up our sauce with some of our own seasonings. And knowing that, you can always make your own pasta sauce at home with maybe some canned tomatoes and some fresh fruits and vegetables that you've gotten from your garden or the grocery store. So let's get started. We want to do a tablespoon or so of olive oil so nothing sticks to the bottom, especially with our onions. I'm sure it got around there. Kind of pick it up, move it. Or I always love to do non-stick spray. So either way. Okay. So we're gonna do our 1/2 cup of onions. I chopped these here. And then the cool thing about vegetables too is that you can always buy them pre-chopped at the grocery store, but it's a lot cheaper if you chop your own. And one little tidbit that I do is upon buying in my onions, I just chop them all up as soon as I get home. So you can just pre-package your own and then when you're ready to use them, they're already chopped up. I think it makes it a lot easier when it comes to preparation purposes. You can just already have it chopped. So we want to kind of brown our onions here for about maybe 5-8 minutes or so. Let's add our teaspoon of Italian seasoning. And y'all, I love crushed red pepper, so we're gonna add about a teaspoon of that too. So we're gonna stir this for about 5 minutes or so. Okay, so now we can go ahead and add some pasta, our pasta sauce. It's about 14 ounces. So depending on how much sauce you want, you can use 12 ounces, 14, 16 ounces. But today we're using 14. My grandmother would be so upset. She is all about limiting waste. So if you have like a spoon or something, you know, get in there and get all of it out and then make sure it all gets in there. We don't want to waste anything. We also don't want it to splash on our clothes. Okay, turn it up. So, our pan's pretty warm, but we want our sauce to get warm too. So we're gonna cook it for about 5 to 8 minutes. So it looks like our pasta's good. We cooked it for about 8 minutes or so. So now we can start to add our pasta to our sauce alongside our meatballs. Let's move everything out the way to make sure everything's neat. So now we have our pasta. So I'm gonna add most of the pasta to it. And I'm gonna kind of add the pasta as we go. Because personally, I like a lot of sauce on my pasta. And the thing is, depending on how you like your pasta sauce, your pasta mixture, you can always add more sauce or less pasta. It's looking really good. Just a little bit more. So I basically added the whole half a pound of pasta to it. And I feel like it's still a good amount of sauce. Make sure it's turning on to warm. Okay, after that, let's start to add our 10 meatballs. They turned out really well. The reason that they're harder is because we add that parm and that cheese to it along with the egg. It gave us a real like crispy, great looking meatball. And right here, I could see, yeah, if you wanted to add more sauce to get your meatballs having more sauce in them, you can do that right here too. But I think it'll all blend together when it comes on your plate. So right here too, guys, you can go ahead and sample it to see how you like it with the seasoning. So if you want to add whatever you want to, I would do that right here. And then we can also go ahead and plate it up right now too. So right here I put some fresh basil. I always love those fresh herbs on my food. I feel like it always brings out the flavor as opposed to just dry seasonings. Okay, so got my pasta. Depending on how much you want. And the thing we want to make sure that we are mindful of is how big our plate is. So we see like this inner circle in our plate. That's what we want to see as our plate, not the entire outside ridge too. Because we have to think about the My Plate guidelines that we kind of talked about earlier. You want half of your plate to be fruits and vegetables, and then you want your other half to be protein and grains, and then, you know, your dairy on the side. So I feel like that's good on that. And then I'm gonna add, you know, my meatballs to it. About 3. And then I'm just adding my basil leaves on here to make it look super pretty. However many you would like. And then also I have some Italian bread here. And then you can always dip your Italian, you can always toast your Italian bread if you would like it. And then you can always add some olive oil to it, or you can always dip it in olive oil. So just get a little side plate of olive oil, add some pepper to it, you know, a little bit of salt, whatever you like, and then kind of go from there. And like I was saying with my plate, so another thing we can make along with this is some broccoli. So we can make half of our plate the pasta and meatballs, and the other half is gonna be our broccoli or whatever non-starchy vegetable you really like. You wanna get a variety of vegetables and fruits in your diet. So there we go. This is our pretty plate. Does it look good? I'm so excited. I hope you guys will really enjoy making this with me. I really appreciate it. So thank you for joining us in Little Italy at Lincoln County Aging Program. I'm Alexandra, the Food Services Director here, and I really appreciate you guys joining us virtually. Please like, subscribe, comment, give us your suggestions, what you do in your kitchen. We would love to hear it so we can incorporate it in the future. And I'm looking forward to going on rest of our destination with you guys. Now stay buckled up, and you guys have a good day. Bye.